This is Marcos here for FightHubTV.com in Fullerton, California. As you can see, I'm sweaty as heck. Just got done doing a workout at CSW with Erik Paulson. Put me through a lot of drills. It was great. And moments ago, I just had the chance to speak with him as he commented on Brock Lesnar's win over Carwin. Check it out. We're here in Fullerton, California at the CSW Training Center with multiple-time Shooto champion Erik Paulson. Erik, we all know that you trained Brock Lesnar. Let's revisit that fight. What do you feel about that fight?
I felt that the year off for Brock, just like anybody, would make him rusty. And I think that basically the biggest goal in that fight, getting ready, was for conditioning. So he did mostly just tons and tons of conditioning. Lots of strength exercise, lots and lots of cardiovascular, aerobic and anaerobic exercises. Probably not as much sparring, more pad work, trying to sharpen and crispen stuff. I think we probably could have done more sparring, because sparring makes you more comfortable to use stuff because of the pressure factor. But you know, a lot of pad work just to get the technique back and crisp. And you know, on pads you look great. There's a little bit of nervousness going into the fight when he stepped in there in the beginning, because you know, Shane was coming gunning for him and had an intention, and is a big, strong, formidable opponent. You know, I think of anybody who's the most dangerous, it would be probably him. And now they're talking Cain Velasquez, but I know that Shane really worked hard and physically is pretty comparable to Brock as far as strength-wise. I don't know about athleticism, but I know strength-wise and definitely power in the punch.
We saw Brock get clipped by an uppercut by Shane. In between rounds, what was going on? Well, let's move back. When you saw him get hit with that uppercut, what was going through your mind?
Well, he got caught. And when he crumbled up, we're like, move, grab him or move. And, you know, it was kind of a blur for me, because it was like he got hit, and then all of a sudden he kind of crumbled, and they got to hit the fence, and then they kind of went and hit the ground, and then Brock feetled up, which was weird for me, because I thought he would try to scramble. So I think he really got rocked with that shot. And the time on the ground and the defending actually gave him enough time to get his bearings back and kick him off a couple times. Also allowed Shane to drop a couple bombs, but if you look, a lot of those hits weren't hitting. They're hitting the arms. And the ref asked twice if he was okay, and he responded and pushed him away. So it was close. I mean, we were all nervous.
Now we're in between rounds. Lesnar comes to your guys' corner. What are you guys telling him?
Keep your hands up, and you got to go first. You got to hit him. You've got to hit him. You got to drop your hands. Fire when you're fired on. Stay away from the right hand. Keep moving to the right. And you know, if you get hit, tie up and get him down. You got to get him on the ground. I have a piece of paper written on the counter that I wrote. It said, Brock will win round 2/3 via shoulder triangle choke. And it's sitting on my desk at home right now. I wrote that as a because I knew that was only one move that Comprito had him work the whole time, was one submission. That was getting either half guard or side control and getting that shoulder triangle, and then really surgically putting the head down and getting the hips right and getting up on the toes and put your hips forward. So I think that was kind of the key. And when I saw him do it in practice over and over and over, I just go, Brock's going to finish Shane with a head and arm triangle. You know, that's once he got that on, I go, this fight's almost over. And then Brock had it tight, and then he looked up at the corner, and we were like, head down, put your head under, and then create that angle and try to get that angle on the body so it wasn't like this, but it was almost like this. And then get up on the toes and rotate your head under. And you could see Shane at first was like this. He kind of rolled, and then he kind of went back, and then you could see his eyes. He looked up, and he's like, it's on. And then he started fighting and turning, and boom.
What was the mood like after the fight?
Well, everyone was happy and surprised, and it was just like, but I think by Brock getting hit and almost losing, I think the respect factor in his head, he was a lot more humble, I think, to the camera, and I think the crowd really did a 180 on him. and say, wow, that was good. And the fact that he didn't showboat afterwards is really good, and showed some respect, and that was very good.
There was announced by Dana White that Brock will be facing Cain Velasquez. Cain's a really tough test for Brock as he possesses good speed, good hands. How do you see that fight going? What do you want to train Brock specifically for Cain?
Well, I think what Brock needs more than anything is good sparring partners that can kickbox and grapple. So he's got to get some guys in his camp that actually can throw down with good striking, good takedowns, good takedown defense. So I'm sure the goal for that camp would probably be bringing some good strikers in.
Would you care to give a prediction on that bout? How do you see it coming out to?
It's the same as Randy. Randy scientifically formulates game plan, strategies, and tactics according to a person's strengths and weaknesses. And Brock's the same way. And he's going to try to bring in quality guys and formulate a game plan. I already know what a game plan that would work for him should be like, but it's just word of advice, and whether or not he follows through with that is up to him. I don't know. You know, Marty's in charge of his camp, and you know he brings a lot of different guys in, so you know it's their choice. You know, all you can do is offer a comment.
Now, if you can comment about it, what are some weaknesses that you see in Cain Velasquez?
He's real tough. There's a big size difference though with Brock and him, so the power factor. But he hits hard. He's fast. He's in and out. He's a good wrestler, so he can actually stop stuff and get out of stuff. I don't know if he's used to going with somebody as big and powerful as Brock. I think that's a big thing. Finding someone that's actually equally as aggressive and powerful as Brock.